tell us about Abujani investment. I see you have the Kenyan flag. This is the Ugandan flag and the Tanzanian flag. Tell us about. It looks like you cater for the entire East African region. So tell us about Abujani investment to begin with.
Abujani Investment is a financial advisory and consultancy firm. We offer financial advisory to our clients, and we connect people's finances with their goals.
So, all right, now you are a financial company that offer financial education to your clients on investment options.
Yes, we do train our individual clients. We also train our corporate clients. We train them on matters investing. But first, we begin with what we call personal finance, and then we take them through that path and journey to the investment journey.
All right. Now, investment is actually not a new topic right here on Money Monday. So I will just, now from your standpoint, maybe what is the overview of the current economic and market conditions in the Kenya that might influence investment decisions?
There is several factors that come into play, and one of the factors that come into play whenever we're talking about investment is the inflation. And currently, as you all know, the inflation has been quite high over the last few months. And something else that comes into play, definitely, one of the factors that people look at is the interest rates. Currently, we have seen interest rates go up, and also something else that people look at, and definitely is there is what we call how is the stock market performing? How is the bond market performing? And as we all know, currently the bond market is performing quite well, offering quite attractive yields. And now when it comes to the stock market, yes, the NSE 20 index has declined, but still, over the long term, it is able to recover and perform well.
When you say inflation is one of the issues that are affecting the current market, how really does inflation affect investment options in the country?
Yes, looking at currently the inflation is at around 7.3%. And what inflation does is whenever the inflation is quite high, whenever the rate of inflation is quite high, it increases the general prices of goods and services. That means that means it reduces the purchasing power of individuals. And whenever the purchasing power is reduced, whenever the purchasing power of individuals is reduced, that means what you were able to purchase maybe 2 years ago or even 3 months ago, you are now able to purchase much lesser. That means that is why we advise and encourage our investors to invest in opportunities where you're getting a higher return than the inflation rate, an investment that is beating the inflation rate.
You also mentioned bonds. Maybe you could tell us how now bonds are an investment option. You say they're doing quite well. So tell us how can one really invest in bonds, and how are they really impactful? Are they?
Yes, currently investing in bonds is one of the most viable, even appropriate investment currently individuals and corporates are making. If you look at the returns that bonds are offering currently in the market, they are quite attractive yields. Currently, they are offering around 16.8%, which again, if you compare to what other investments, and also if you factor in the risk, bonds are currently offering quite a high yield. And for you to be able to invest in government bonds, you have to open what we call a CDS account. You have to open a CDS account with the central bank. That way, you are now able to invest in government bonds and now earn the attractive yield. And now, once you invest in government bonds, you'll be able to earn twice a year. That means every 6 months you'll be receiving your income. Yes.
Now, when we talk about, you've talked about a stock market, you talked about bonds now as investment options, but I would want to know other investment options and how do they differ in terms of risk and potential return?
First, to begin with, there is different types of investment vehicles, and one of the investment vehicles that we have is the stock market. And the second investment option that we have is the bonds. And the third investment option that people have is the real estate. You can be able to invest into the real estate directly, even though it requires a lot of money to invest into the real estate. And also you can invest in the real estate indirectly by investing into what we call REITs, or even what we call real estate unit trust. And also one other way that you can be able to invest is through the money market funds, or rather maybe unit trust. That way you are also able to get quite a good return. And currently, if you look at maybe the return that money market funds are offering investors, they're offering currently between 8 to 11%, which I believe, again, it is a good return. And also another opportunity that people can invest in, there is what we call derivatives in the stock market. That way you are now able to hedge your prices, and still to hedge your prices in times of volatility, like during this period where the prices of where the stock prices are quite volatile. Yes.
Now, which investment option is really favorable for the common mwananchi that Kenyan earning a very low income? Which one would you recommend?
There is like I said, there is a variety of investments. There is different types of investments. Again, whenever it comes to individual investments, there is several factors that you have to consider. And one of the key factors that one has to consider is the financial goals that an individual has. What are their goals, both in the short term and in the long term? And also the second factor that people look at, and as well we look at as we advise our clients, is the level of risk. Are you risk tolerant? Are you risk averse? That means if you are risk averse, that means you cannot invest in highly risk investments. If you are risk tolerant, that means you can be able to stomach a certain level of risk. And also another factor that people consider, and as well we as a company we consider, is the liquidity. Because again, your ability to access your money is quite important. So if you really need cash now, if you really need cash tomorrow or the day after, we definitely the best or even the viable investment option would be a short-term investment vehicle. So the decision to invest in these different investment vehicles, there is several factors that you have to look at before making that decision. And that way you are now able to choose. You are now able to choose an investment vehicle that suits, or even that suits your financial goals and your needs, that will help you achieve your financial goals.
So how little should I have? I don't want to say how much. How little should I have to be able to now invest, and maybe in long term now? Let's not talk about short term, long term.
Yes, you can invest as low as 500, 1,000 bob. And we always encourage people to...
Where? In which inlet or outlet? That 500 or 1,000 Kenya shillings?
Yes, one is you can put aside 1,000 bob every month and put that money in a money market fund, and you'll be able to earn an interest of around 8 to 11%. And the beauty about money market fund is your money compounds. In some money market funds, your money compounds daily. In others, it compounds monthly. So over the long term, your money will have compounded both your initial capital or even your initial principal, and also the interest that you have been earning will also compound.
Now, could you also maybe explain to us the regulatory environment of investments now in Kenya? And maybe are there any changes that might affect investors in the country now?
Our capital market is regulated by Capital Markets Authority. We also have different other markets. We have the money market instrument, or even the money markets. It is regulated by different players. We also have circles regulated by SASRA, and the Capital Markets Authority regulates the stock market, the bond market. And if you look at the role of the Capital Markets Authority, one of the key roles they play is to make sure that the markets are quite efficient and the markets are quite favorable and building that investor confidence in the market. And one of the most notable changes from time to time is always the tax policies. Every year we see the tax policies change, and whenever the tax policies change, definitely they affect the different investment vehicles that we have. And looking at the Finance Bill 2023, the Finance Bill 2023 did not touch on the capital gains tax, and it did not touch on the different taxes that are taxed on different investment vehicles.
Right.
But in the previous finance bills, we have seen taxes on different products increase. Yes. If you look at the taxes currently, the capital gains tax of 15%, which came into effect in Jan 1st, 2023. And also, if you look at the taxes that are charged on the dividends, mostly cutting across, they charge a tax rate of 5%. And if you look at maybe the withholding tax that you will be charged on money market funds, mostly still 15%. So the most notable change from time to time that we witness is the tax policies. Yes.
You mentioned also SACCOs being regulated by SASRA, but you haven't really told us about SACCOs as an investment option. So when we come back from this break, I want you to delve deeper into that. Now, SACCOs as an investment option.
Seeing the impacts of climate change. In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're losing.
The level we need to go is a level where the normal mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need, and you find that it serves us a bit more than you put in. And that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found. Because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
The beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, and like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, is the second advent is imminent.
What's up, fashionistas? Looking for a show that brings you the latest in the world of fashion, glamour, creativity, and style? stories got you started as we explore street fashion, modeling, runways, red carpet events, and so much more.
Catch me, Ashley as Tachi, as we unlock the greatest fashion event. Keep it locked.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Our conversation on investment options in Kenya is continuing, and we have Franklin Waruhiu in studio tonight. Franklin, if you're just joining us, is a financial analyst at the Abujani Investment Company. And before we went on our break, we were talking about now SACCOs as an investment option. Maybe you can tell us about that and your opinion about SACCOs.
First, SACCOs is an ideal or even a good place to start your savings and investment journey. And so many people, so many Kenyans have joined SACCOs. SACCOs have gained popularity in the last few years. And again, if you're looking for affordable credit, definitely SACCO is a good option for you. If you're looking for SACCO dividends, SACCOs is a good option for you. Mostly when it comes
SACCO
to
dividends.
Yes,
Somebody maybe doesn't understand what SACCO dividends really mean.
SACCOs pay a dividend on the share capital that one owns. Mm-hmm. When you're joining in a SACCO, there is the minimum share capital you should buy. So it varies from SACCO to SACCO. So over time, you can increase your share capital by buying more shares. So every year or even annually, you'll be earning a certain percentage of dividend, or even you'll be receiving dividends from the SACCO. Mm-hmm. Yes, and now when it comes to saving with SACCOs, there is several things that you need to consider. And one of the things that you need to consider, SACCO are ideal for long-term investments. So if you're looking for financial security in the long term, if you're looking for developments in the long term, if you're looking at affordable credit for you to be able to invest and grow, SACCO is an appropriate investment option for you.
It is an appropriate investment option. Is it safe? Would you actually recommend that SACCOs is safer as compared to maybe, how do they differ from money market funds? Now we even have chamas. Do you consider chamas as investment options?
No. When it comes to chamas, there is too much that goes on. Sometimes disagreement, lack of transparency. Mm-hmm. So whenever people are disagreeing on where to invest, it becomes a challenge in most chamas. Mm-hmm. And now when it comes to SACCOs, if you look at looking at the history of SACCOs and looking at the different SACCOs that we have, Kenya, we have some of the biggest SACCOs in Africa. We have SACCOs with a huge asset base. We have SACCOs with huge presence in Kenya. Mm-hmm. And these are SACCOs that are quite big. And if you look at where these SACCOs invest, some of these SACCOs, they invest in different, some invest in government bonds, some invest in money market funds. That way, they are able to grow the money that depositors are contributing every month. And also, if you look at maybe SACCOs, they are also currently offering the different investment options to their members. You'll find a SACCO offering an investment option like real estate or even land. They will be selling land to a SACCO member at a cheaper cost. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You also mentioned something about taxes affecting investors now in Kenya. Maybe you can tell us now in depth if there are taxes implications or incentives that now investors should be aware of when making investment decisions in Kenya.
Yes, there is a tax incentive. If you look at if you look at the capital gains tax that came into effect in 1st January 2023, it exempts capital gains on the stock market, on securities that are traded on the stock market. That means investors who are trading shares on the stock market and they make a capital gain, they're exempted from paying that capital gains tax. That way, that way the players in the industry, the government, does so to attract more investors in the market, and that way more participants, and whenever more participants are participating in the market, it is good for our market. And if you look at the different tax incentives that are offered on the markets, yes, the government is able to offer tax incentives to both investors and also to different companies that are listing on the stock market. Yes.
All right, now we have a question is coming in for you, and he's asking, what is the role of diversification in an investment portfolio, and how does it apply to the Kenyan market?
That is a very good question. One of the ways to make sure that you get returns above average market is definitely to diversify your portfolio. By diversifying your portfolio, you are able to reduce the risks. So if you have a diversified portfolio, that means even if a single asset in your portfolio does not perform quite well or even underperforms, it won't affect the overall return in your portfolio. And that means you can have several assets in your portfolio. You can have stocks, you can have bonds, you can also have commodities, you can also have indices, ETFs. And by having these different types of assets, that way you are able to reduce and to spread the risk that are involved in investing. And one of the ways that people can diversify in the Kenyan market, you can put aside your money in different investment options. But this means if you have 100,000, you can put 35% of the 100,000 in stocks. You can also put 30% in bonds. You can put 25. You can put 20% in money market fund, and maybe you can put 15% in circles. So when you setting aside money in different investment options, also there is several factors that you need to consider when you are diversifying. You also have when you are diversifying, you should not put all your money in one asset class. By this I mean you should not put all your money in stocks. You should not put all your money in bonds. You should not put all your money in circles. Have diversifying these different assets. Make sure you have a wealth basket, or even make sure you have put aside some money in bonds, in stocks, in money market fund. That way at least your portfolio will be well diversified.
You also mentioned something about listing companies. Tell us about that.
Yes, I know maybe in the last couple of years we haven't experienced maybe several listing of or even several listing of companies at the NSE, but the president recently and the government promised to list several companies, and we're hoping hopefully before end of the year and looking into 2024, several companies hopefully they will be listed. Yes.
So are you looking forward to Abujani being one of those companies? You're a company, right?
Yes.
All right. Are you looking forward to that? Or are you already listed?
No, Abujani Investment Company is not listed. Over time, yes, there is a direction definitely we could take. There is a discussion that we could have in future.
Why are you having second thoughts about it right now? About maybe also listing your company now that you are an investment company?
One is when a company is being listed, there is several things that makes a company or even a management of a company to opt for the listing option. And one of the reasons why companies opt for listing is to raise funds for expansion and growth. That way, and also another reason why companies list is definitely to raise money and develop new innovations for growth. And currently, is a company we haven't considered the option of listing our company yet.
As we wind up, there's a question for you. Would you recommend some of the legit circles for them?
Like I said, we have different circles. We have over 30 registered circles in Kenya. And whenever you considering the different circles, there is several things that you have to look at. You have to look at the reputation of this circle. You have to look at how much assets does this circle hold. You also have to consider the management of this circle. Is it well governed? If a circle is well governed, you can definitely put your money, put your savings in that circle. Also, you have to look at do you have guarantors in that circle? So do you have people you know who are in that circle? Because again, when you join a circle, for you to enjoy maximum benefits, it is good for you to have guarantors. Because again, when you are applying for that credit, you will need 2 or 3 guarantors to guarantee your loan. That way, at least you will enjoy the maximum benefit. Because again, like I said, there is different reasons why people join a circle. And one of the reasons that people join a circle is to enjoy the circle dividends. And another reason that people join a circle is to definitely enjoy affordable credit. Because again, looking at what circles charge on the interest rates that circles charge on loans, they are quite lower compared to other alternatives. Yes.
All right, maybe the person who asked that question wanted specific circles, but maybe where can they find you so that maybe you can talk about that now in depth now to give you financial advice.
Viewers can find me can find me through Abojani Investments. They can also find me through my Twitter handle, Waruhiu Franklin, and I can be able to put them I can be able to share the knowledge on different circles and take them on the path towards their investment journey.
Thank you so much for your time, Franklin. We have come to the end of our discussion, but this does not end here. I understand that conversations about money do not really have an end. So thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate you. Kenya, we are taking another short break at this point. So much more lined up for you. Stay with us.